Welcome to Zonk. Story 1. Okay, so I don't really know how detailed to be because I'm nervous he's gonna see this post, but also just needed some advice. Okay, so I was in a semi-long-term relationship with this guy who used to be my close friend. We were close friends for a long time and it was one of the best friendships I've ever had. But then he went and fell for me and got shitty. I thought I could salvage the friendship and our relationship by giving him a chance. It was okay, but after a few months it was constant fighting, possessiveness, and drama, and I started to feel like it wasn't working. A couple nights before I cheated, he made a comment that made me pretty angry and insecure, which, though not a justification, made me not want to be sexually intimate with him anymore, as I felt he was judging my body. Fast forward, I attended a huge Halloween party full of people I knew from high school, and it happened. I could go into more detail of what my thought processes were, but the post would be too long. I'll just say it was with someone I used to be attracted to and never thought my past self would be in that situation. And because a couple nights ago I was feeling insecure, the attention was exactly what I craved. The guilt settled in a little late, as I saw the guy again the next day at an after-party thing, and I did it again. But the guilt did settle in, and it settled in hard. I decided to tell my boyfriend everything in hopes my honesty would be commendable, and he would see that I'm honest and willing to try to improve. He came over that night, we had drinks, and I felt I was making leadway with him, convincing him not to move out or leave me. But he would say, okay, fine, give me terms, but then 20 minutes later be enraged calling me names and the dude I slept with names, etc. And saying he never wants to see me again. Fair enough. He's changed his mind multiple times and I think there's still hope to try and win him back. But I don't want to force someone's forgiveness and maybe I should let him move on and heal. I asked if we could still be friends, but he's convinced that is so I can still have him around but still be able to sleep with whoever I want. It's not. I do love him, but I don't know. I won't lie when I say the freedom felt nice too. But he's worth more to me than some one-night stand, and I need to convince him of that somehow. It's good that you were honest with him about what happened, and it's understandable that you want to try to repair the relationship. However, it's also important to respect his feelings and give him space if he needs it. It's not fair to try to convince him to forgive you or to pressure him into a reconciliation if he's not ready. If you truly care about him and want to show him that you're willing to work on the relationship, it may be helpful to seek out counseling or therapy to work through the issues that led to the cheating and the breakdown of the relationship. Comments. You weren't happy in the relationship and you cheated on him. Why do you want him back? Let him move on. Sounds like you don't like being alone, begging someone to stay with you even though the relationship wasn't that great anyway, and then sleeping with someone else yet still expecting him to want to be with you. You need to be alone for a while. Your post is full of you blaming him for going out and cheating on him, and then feigning shock and surprise that he just doesn't get over it and want to be with you. And shock and surprise that he's mad at you and indecisive about what he wants to do with your relationship. Newsflash, you were selfish, you were intimate with someone else, and you just turned your SO's life upside down. He's allowed to be shocked and indecisive right now. You aren't allowed to be. Story 2. So, fair warning, this is a long one. First time posting actually, relatively new to the Reddit world. I'm also on my phone, so here's the details. We, 30 female and 40 male, have dated for a year, and we're really taking strides to the long haul. He was getting close with my daughter 4, meeting my parents, friends, and coworkers, and talking about our future. He caught me sexting with a friend 31 male and gave me another chance about 6 months ago. Last week, he caught me again sexting a different friend 35 and broke it off. Rightfully so. Background. I've had issues with attention seeking after going through a divorce and getting into a long abusive relationship. In my marriage, I was made to feel unwanted and worthless by my husband that would treat me as a child and would go months without any physical contact, or even sleeping in the same bed. After I left him, I met my last ex and the father of my child. He and I started off strong and moving fast. We were pregnant unplanned within the first year. It was after our daughter was born that he became violent towards me. He had an anger issue coupled with a substance issue that he hid fairly well in the beginning. When our daughter was 2, he was arrested after our neighbors called the police and charges were filed. He got probation and I got a restraining order. The next year was about rebuilding my life. I lost my house and no real friends to turn to, and I had to stay with my family for a few months to stay on my feet. The depression was intense and I did my best to power through, going through the motions. I found some escape in dating, setting up on Tinder, POF, and even combing through Craigslist personals. I enjoyed feeling good about myself from the attention I got from men, which, as a bigger girl, that attention is rare. After going through a few flings, hookups, or just chatting, I was needing more. I missed and wanted a real relationship, unlike what I had over the last several years. That's when I met my current boyfriend, now ex I guess, on Craigslist personals. We had the intention of having a casual FWB thing, but I quickly developed feelings. He was an amazing guy with a few flaws that I was quick to look past because in comparison to my last guys, he was perfect. But the flaws, they got to me over a while. He has a drinking problem. He drinks responsibly at home but could knock out an 18-pack of beer in one sitting on the regular. He was also very untidy. His house is always a mess, dirty dishes, and pretty gross bathrooms, and just a layer of grime everywhere. When he cleaned, he took care of any clutter but never deep cleaned anything. But as we moved into the relationship, I noticed his lack of trust or commitment to the relationship, even after he admitted to having feelings for me. Took 4 months to call me his girlfriend, 7 months to say I love you, and 11 months to stay over at my place. Any past overnights were always at his house. We were moving extremely slow. For me, who was used to moving fast in previous relationships, but I tried to have patience. We talked about improving on these issues, but I never saw any positive changes. So back to me. I still have some emotional baggage from my past, struggling with unworthiness, self-confidence, self-love in general. And every so often I get into a really down spell. That's rough. My apartment gets messy, I lose interest in just about everything, and stop really caring about myself, focusing all my energy outward. And it was during these times I found myself seeking attention. Sexting was an easy outlet to feel better for just a few moments, and I rationalized it by telling myself it didn't matter, that it didn't mean anything. I compartmentalized it all and kept it locked away. I loved my boyfriend and wanted a life together, or to at least try. I recognized that what I did was wrong and that it was a choice and fault. While I have little doubt of reconciling with him again, I need an outside perspective. My boyfriend and I are talking, but he's hurt, and it varies between being sweet and understanding to calling me a monster and sociopath. Maybe all of this is really a learning tool. Maybe it's my catalyst for seeking outside help. Maybe I really am a horrible person. I guess I'm just talking this all out, rationalizing. But any insight would be appreciated. It's hard for me to admit weakness. I have to always be strong, and perhaps if I had admitted to my boyfriend my depression sooner, things wouldn't have gone this far. It sounds like you've been through a lot of difficult experiences in your past relationships and are currently struggling with emotional baggage and self-worth issues. It's understandable that you would turn to sexting as a way to seek attention and validation during low points, but it's important to recognize that this behavior is not healthy or respectful to your partner. It's good that you're taking responsibility for your actions and acknowledging that they were wrong. It's also encouraging that you're seeking an outside perspective and considering seeking outside help. It's important to address the underlying emotional issues that are driving your behavior and work on building your self-confidence and self-love. Comments. Okay, first thing, take a deep breath. It seems your life is a mess right now, and you have a lot of issues to overcome. I think you shouldn't try to pursue him or any other relationships right now. Focus on yourself, for your daughter's sake too. I think this is over the pay grade of Reddit, so you should probably seek professional help. Good luck, OP. Honey, this is all just a hot mess. You need therapy to work through your depression and attention-seeking behaviors, and really consider not dating an alcoholic slob in the meantime. Story 3. I met a really nice guy via Tinder. He's married, has children, the whole shebang. Anyway, we're 2 months in and I receive a phone call from his wife telling me she knows and asking me to stop. She says she's not mad and that her husband has done this before, but for my sake, I should stop seeing him. She explains that I'm probably not the only one and that he's reckless and can get me sick. According to her, he's brought home an STD before. Me and my AP have come to an agreement to use condoms every time because I sleep with other men. So in regards to my health, I've taken the necessary steps. However, I'm actually incredibly torn. I've actually been asked nicely by a man's wife to stop sleeping with him. We've also developed a sugar daddy sugar baby thing, so dumping him also puts a dent in my personal life. I like the guy. He's nice, great in bed, accommodating. But I'm actually beginning to feel bad because his wife actually asked me to stay away from him. Thoughts? Comments. Look at it this way, she really has no reason to lie. She could have unloaded both guns on you but showed remarkable restraint and politeness. She's certainly within the norm to track you down at work, Facebook, etc. And she called to ask you to stop for your safety, your health. Frankly, I would drop the guy if I were in your shoes. That may cut into your income, but she already knows she can reach you, and the second time she comes to you, she may not be as polite. If you believe her about the STDs and are worried about it, then stop. If you do stop, he's going to just find someone else, assuming you're the only one at the moment, which is a huge assumption. I get that the wife asked you nicely, and that's a bit of a mind frick. But if you like this guy, he's not happy at home, so he's gonna have an AP somewhere. I guess you also need to be concerned that the wife could be less nice next time around.